And welcome into Street News Now, Five Guys and You. It's probably 60 because the last I checked, is like so many Negro men behind the dashboard. I'm telling you, it's like the Black Brady Bunch, as I told you before. How you doing, everybody? This is Street News Now, Five Guys. Well, probably a lot of guys and you. We do this every Thursday, 9 p.m. Eastern, at 8 p.m. Central, and 6 p.m. on the West Coast, as we bring you Street News Now. So again, I can never do it by myself, because it wouldn't be five guys and you. It'd be like one man and the rest of y'all. So here comes everybody else. I bring everybody else to the fold one by one here. There's a lot of people here. So let me make sure I get everybody on here. And there you go. Lee Michaels, Dr.Ron Ford, Mike Love, and Buck Wild.
Yeah! I just found out that fellow Virgos, born the same year. So I'm his new best friend.
I'll take it. Always trying to find new.
Y'all can have each other.
Hey,
y'all
both deserve each other.
I mean,
that's shade.
I mean, Skin 09, and you insulting people already, Lee. I mean, Lee, and you calling. As a matter of fact, where are you, sir?
I'm in an undisclosed location.
I thought you would say that.
In a safe house. I ain't never met anybody been in a safe house before.
I'm in witness protection program.
Yeah.
Oh, good.
So I cannot disclose my actual location.
But if he did disclose it, it's a very interesting location. If he were to disclose it, it's a very, very interesting location that I think he should share.
Yeah, they trying to protect him from. They trying to protect the witnesses from him.
Right.
That's right.
Exactly. And my man just came on.
Exactly.
Our also brother in broadcasting, Professor Reggie Miles. Professor, how you doing, man?
Yeah.
I got an attitude. You call me a Negro. I'm not no Negro.
You're not?
No, man.
You're a human being.
Yeah, you got it.
That's right.
There you go. You hit me. That. You hit me with that funk intelligence, man.
I like that.
That's what I'm talking. See, that's what I'm talking. See, because I was about to become the angry black man. I was getting ready to do, what's the guy named Leo? I was getting ready to go off and do the Fox News.
Not Leo Terrell from Fox News.
Yeah, you know I was and I was getting ready to start hollering and fussing, man. You gonna call me black? You gonna call me a Negro? No, man, I'm a human being.
And you can always tell when the professor mad because that left eyebrow go up and he don't be saying nothing.
That's that Boris Karloff, man.
Yeah.
Is that big black
right? You see that eyebrow go up?
Yeah, that's Boris Karloff, man. You know.
I know.
He's irritating.
Sorry.
Irritating.
Who, Boris Karloff?
Yeah. That's what I'm thinking of.
Oh, I love Boris Karloff.
Yeah.
The one in middays and on Fox News Channel?
No, I'm talking about the real Boris Karloff.
Oh, I thought you were talking about the guy on Fox News.
Mike, stop.
No,
he's not old enough to know who the real
I'm not old enough.
Karloff is.
I'm sorry, Master Buck Wild. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
You're absolutely correct.
Yeah.
You know you're wearing that Depends right now. You got that diaper on.
Master Buck Wild, I am sorry. I should have said the guy that was like the first Frankenstein, and that would have even been worse, right?
Look, Reggie, you're getting worse, bro. He's like Frankenstein. Who the
Frankenstein? Who is that? Who is that?
Hey, that's all the movies.
Oh! Wait a minute, Buck Wild, you wasn't around when TV was in black and white, right?
No.
Oh, okay. All right.
No.
All right.
Was it Boris Karloff that used to say, "I want to suck your blood"? Was that him?
No, that was Bela.
Yes.
That was
Bela Lugosi. Yeah.
That was Bela Lugosi. Okay.
Yeah, that was Bela.
Them cats wasn't joking.
I thought it was Boris.
Yeah. They all hung out together. They all hung out together, doing horror movies. But you got to think they was kind of like player-ish. When you walk up to a woman talking about, "I want to suck you."
All right, now don't stop. There you go. There you go. You dirty. All right.
Once again, Skin 09.
There you go.
And here comes nasty ass right off the bat.
There's so much dust in this room right now.
It's sad.
So much dust.
It is sad. Dracula.
Yeah.
He was talking about sucking necks, and you're going to take it way left.
I did not. I just said suck you. I didn't say where to suck.
That's what he does.
Woo.
It was innocent. I'm with Dr. Ron. It was innocent.
Now you Virgo guys.
You don't know Dr. Ron like I do.
No. Nothing comes out of Dr. Ron's mouth.
That's innocent.
Thank you.
Well, while we got guests on the show, it is.
Well, okay.
We got guests on the show.
First of all,
He innocent.
First of all, y'all know I don't have no problem saying what I mean and mean what I say. Y'all know this. Okay? So if I'm implying something, you know, I just left it open. I didn't say north, south, east, or west.
And let's keep it simple. That's why he has Ask Dr. Ron. If you didn't understand, then you go, Dr. Ron, what did you mean by that?
I meant he was going to bite you in the neck.
In the neck. Over here. Carotid artery.
Okay. Chris.
I know our upcoming guests probably like, why did I sign up for this program?
Right.
It's like,
Bring on your distinguished guest.
Please.
Distinguished. Oh,
yes,
Lord.
Distinguished guest, please.
Yeah, distinguished guest. No. Right. And no biting of the guest's neck. No, we're being nice around here today.
No biting.
No biting of the guest's neck. So, in all seriousness, as I try to reel the show back in all seriousness, it's been brought to my attention about female veterans who are homeless. And there's starting statistics about this, follow this type of data. And it was brought to my attention by a good friend of mine named Laganya, or named Lili. I call her Lili, but she has a long name I cannot pronounce. But Lili is a broadcaster, worked in Chicago for a lot of years, has done news and anchoring and news reporting. And we communicated, and she was letting me know about this non-for-profit organization that deals with female veterans who are homeless who become homeowners. So without further ado, I wanted to bring the guest in. It's Christopher Edwards and my friend Lili. So let me get them into here real quick as I do some magic, and bam, there you go, just like that.
Round of hand claps. All right.
Hey everybody.
All right.
How you guys doing?
Okay.
Yeah, how you doing?
We're doing well. How are you doing?
Good, fantastic. Thank you for being here.
Thank you for having us. Really appreciate it.
Absolutely. So tell us the initiative. First of all, when did it start? When did you find out about particularly female veterans being homeless in the first place?
So early this year, we did we were just doing some brief research as far as homelessness, and the startling statistics with veteran women homelessness was too crazy. We have a non-for-profit back on track, and our goal is to assist people in the best way we can. And we knew we had to do something as far as like to champion this issue. And probably 5 months ago, that's when it all started, and it's been kind of like growing ever since then as far as the momentum. So we're pretty excited about it.
To even have any veteran, male or female, to come back from war or just serve this country, and to come back and just have nothing should be addressed altogether. But just the fact you have female veterans, and some of them have children as well, who are on the street, it's just an abomination.
That is true.
And that's exactly what got to us, the fact that they gave their lives to serve the nation, and they come back home to no home, and that their struggle is real. The fact that they go unnoticed. There are so many organizations that are actually helping out, but there's not enough. It's still an issue. And so we felt that it was necessary to create this situation for them, and for it to be an ability to make them self-sufficient, give them their self-respect back. The program envelopes them and turn the dehumidifier off, sorry.
Right.
So what the program does is it not only gives them a home to come home to, but we're going to equip them so that they are able to step out of here, out of her salute, better equipped to be able to take care of themselves. And the biggest shift will be that they will be homeowners at the end of the program.
I got a question.
Well, okay, go ahead.
Go ahead.
I've never served our country, but I was thinking that the GI Bill would cover all that without discrimination of gender.
So yes, sir. Thank you so much for that question. I actually served. I retired from the Marine Corps 14 and a half years. And with that, the GI Bill is specifically for educational purposes.
Okay.
And a lot of us, we just don't take advantage of the educational purposes. But as far as like the trauma that people go through, just the whole thing of like being broken down by the time you get out, because it's a different situation once you get out of the armed services. And some people, they just don't know they have those benefits to access. The benefit of the VA loan is for all veterans that have served, a certain amount of time. However, if you don't qualify with your credit as well as your income, it's kind of a moot point. So it's a thing of like the resources there, but there's no structure to actually bring you to the resource. And that's kind of like where we come in to help the veteran.
So you don't get a break like on the interest rate or anything like that in reference to you serving the country? I mean, like I said, I never served our country, so I don't understand. I have friends who have served and they've got homes and the whole 9 yards. I actually, pardon my ignorance, thought it was just like that. You because you serve the country, you go through this, like you said, VA thing or GI Bill, whatever it's called, and you can get like a house.
So that's partially true. There's a guarantee that's there, but as far as like qualifying for a loan, be like anyone else. The only break that you will get is that with a traditional loan, you'll secure it with your finances, but the government will actually guarantee a certain percentage of your loan, which is more advantageous for a lender. But that's the only thing though, because if you have like a 3 credit score, you're not getting a house. If if you're home, if you don't have a sufficient enough income, you're not gonna qualify for a house. So It's just a thing of, it's overall, it's a mindset. Once we live out of uniform, there's not enough education to say, hey, you know what, you kind of like live sporadically throughout these years, but now it's time to kind of buckle down, get your credit together, get a real plan as far as the budget concerned, because if not, you will be a renter forever. And that's what kind of happens most of the time. A very small percentage of veterans actually use the VA loan, which is a phenomenal program. It's 0% down as far as your down payment, and if you have a disability, that other kind of way where a lot of the fees that are assessed. So there's a lack of education overall, in all communities pretty much.
Thank you.
So I have a question. Thank you for your service, by the way. You were a Marine. I was in the Navy. We used to drag you guys all across the world because y'all couldn't find a ride no place else. But
right.
And we used to patch them back up when they got wounded too. But I understand that if you ever served in any branch of the military, if you became homeless at any given time, you used to be able to go to a VA hospital and they would house you. Do they still offer that program?
So now, just like with everything else, is being resourced out. So there's funding there, but here again, once you become homeless, there are a myriad of different organizations and agencies that will actually bring you in, but it's only temporary. There's 6 to 9 months most of the time, but if you get into a really good program in maybe 2 years, but then what happens after 2 years? You start all over again. You know what I mean? So it's a thing of like, it really isn't a means to an end. It's a temporary like patch up, if nothing else. But as far as like anything that's going to be terminal, unless you're older, and you have a pretty substantial amount of income coming in, sure, someone to take you in. But if you don't have a whole bunch, it's you're kind of moving around place to place.
Okay.
Christopher and Lili, what are the psychological things that the female veteran goes through? And I think like anybody else, you have pride, and sometimes you have to move past pride and ask for help. Were there certain scenarios you talk to veterans that you had to help them? Look, we're not trying to destroy your pride. We're just trying to help you assistance in fighting a home.
Yeah, so with that, what I found is a lot of the ladies, they do, especially ones that have children, they're not going to stay in one place. So it's a whole thing of moving around first and foremost. And it's a thing of like just ignorance first and foremost. They're ignorant to a lot of things that are out there that are built for them, around them. And like just the whole trauma of, so if you were a 19-year-old young lady going to a space that's male dominated, you don't have a voice. And if you're there for any length of time, whatever, that more or less will kind of change who you are overall. So once you get out or whatever, it's like, well, there's no structure here. So I got to fend for myself. So pride is a big thing, and then there's also mental health issues also. PTSD, there's sexual trauma, which as we all know, those things really kind of reposition how we see things.
Yeah, Mike Love deals with that a lot, the mental health thing,
Definitely. But I brought myself back, That's why sometimes you turn yourself over to Jesus. See, and then he redeemed me, salvation and glory. See, but I was crazy before that. He's absolutely right, Christopher. But let me ask you a question. So now, is Lil? Did she serve in the for the United States?
No, sir.
So you just
no, sir. We
well, I mean, not just
we are partners.
Oh, you're partners. Okay, I'm sorry.
Oh, because we heard the accent, and we were like, "Oh, so you served in the United States service for the British? Are you British?"
I'm his sidekick.
You're a sidekick. Wait a minute, wait, something's going on. You're losing rank here. You went from partners, now you the sidekick, then you gonna be the maid. I mean, hey, whoa. Now, we got
she runs the whole thing. She runs the thing. I'm just here.
You guys, we're in control of this show. If you want to get down on a knee and propose, if you got something you want to say, we open here.
No pressure, right? No pressure.
Yeah, because Professor will marry you.
We got Professor right here. Get him married.
Yeah,
right here.
Professor will marry. I would do it, but then I would probably have to do the divorce too. So I would let the professor have the honors,
So the professor can make the money.
And then Buck Wild does graphics. So
no divorce here.
Marriage certificate right here online. We can do the whole package. I'm listening.
That's quite a service you offer.
Honeymoon too. You got some vibes for honeymoon. We're gonna go to honeymoon.
You may have to stay at Dr. Ron and Chris' house for the honeymoon or something. I don't have enough room over here.
Look. He getting military people houses. He don't need no help with a honeymoon and a house.
You would think.
Shouldn't have got started. Y'all done got started. There,
what do you expect? We are.
You can't keep us caged up long. I'm sorry. Let's turn it back over to the professor.
Look, the Marine then start sweating, y'all, and he ain't even working out.
We're just partners.
We talking about getting married. Nobody told us about that.
Partners.
Yeah.
All right, we throwing it back to Chris. Chris, you better get control of this.
I don't know if I can. I'll give it a shot. We'll see what happens.
Chris is the voice of reason. Voice of reason.
Yeah, I'll throw myself a lifeline and see what happens. I apologize for their behavior patterns. So it is what it is. So again, Christopher and Lili. So again, going back to the Hearst salute and back on track. In the short amount of time you've been doing this, what have been some of the success stories that you can name to date?
So really, we haven't really accommodated a lot of women just thus far. We've helped with a lot of services and a lot of partnerships. That's the big thing. So we're actually sitting in a space now that's going to be converted into the first home. And we're working really feverishly to get this thing together as far as, just the core, just because in essence, we want to facilitate a home feeling to where, they will be able to, feel it. Because I've been into some shelters or whatever, and it's like, I wouldn't put anyone here, but, we're going to be totally separate from that. So we do have resources that we can help, that can help the ladies, as far as getting their IDs, see if they have any type of military benefits that they can actually utilize, things of nature, just to kind of get them prepped for once they are here. And there is like a pretty deep assessment to get with us anyway, because everyone doesn't fit. We want to make sure that, once the ladies that are here, they will succeed. Or if not, we can deviate. We have a couple other tracks we can go into, but overall, homeownership is, our overall goal. Because I'm a realtor too, so I get to do two things that are pretty awesome.
So what are the biggest obstacles here that you're running into?
So it's people not being able to commit. You know what I mean? It's a thing of it's a short-term thing. But I'm thinking unless people see the full vision into fruition, actually running up and running or whatever, that's the biggest thing. People just, their level of commitment is a little bit short. as far as a lot of the paperwork for the state. It's been a little bit arduous as far as, you know, the attorney general and having to do what's necessary for there. But I think it's just a lot of just like technical type of things. But overall, it's not terrible. We're moving forward with it.
So how long has it been? How long you been at this?
Oh goodness, Back on Track has been in existence since 2013, but the Her Salute initiative is just since
5 months. No.
5 months, yeah.
5 months.
Oh,
but we've gained a lot of traction. It's ridiculous, the traction we've had.
So we're really just setting it all up and looking for supporters, partnerships, which is why we're sort of doing the call out to get as many people on board that can help bring it to life. You know, our hope is to have houses right across America eventually. We've already got 2 other properties that are potentially looking to follow suit after we get this one up and running. We've got the launch happening on the 11th of September. And so that's where we're going to have a preview, invite certain individuals to help them share in the vision and invite them to partner with us. So we really want to get that crowd in and just really mobilize the whole thing.
You can keep on talking. We love that British accent. It's just.
I know,
okay.
me too. Like, go ahead, girl.
Keep on talking.
So
keep on talking.
So a question I would throw out there now, what would be a realistic timeline for, say, like a person that you run across this and qualifies for your program? What would be a timeline? You know, like if you ran across a lady today that's having difficulty living underneath a bridge in Chicago in a tent, you know, when would there be a, you know, estimation of them having a home?
So with that, they'll have a home with us probably probably second quarter next year. But before then, we have a partnership with Volunteers of America that can actually get them temporary housing for up to 9 months. So with that, you know, if we start getting referrals like second quarter or third quarter of this year, well, should win this third quarter. So the last quarter of this year, we do have like resources that kind of get them, you know, at the very least off the streets. But as far as like May time frame, we're looking to open our doors. So from May, it depends on where they are, because some ladies, they may need the full 24 months, depending on where they are, because it's a thing of, you know, being acclimated to being a homeowner, just kind of like change your mindset. So the max will be 24 months. But I would say from our research, the least amount of time would be probably between 16 to 18 months as far as the full turnover.
Mm-hmm. Also take consideration with giving them homes, become homeowners. How do you factor in, say, possibly health insurance? Is that part of the plan as well?
Great question.
It is. Yes. So we've actually spoken with quite a few vendors that actually will they'll cover the veterans, of course, the Jessie Brown VA as well as Hines VA. They will cover the women's health as well as their children. Well, not children, but the state will cover their children. So with that, the VA also has like a women's clinic, just central for women, which is amazing. And we do have like the director. We have a partnership with the director. So with that, there will be no type of gaps in coverage. You know, even with there's a couple of dental places that we're looking into also. Because, you know, it has to be holistic, because the VA doesn't really, unless you're 100% disabled, they won't do the dental. So that's something else we had to take a look at also.
Absolutely. And again, for the record, Lili is a broadcaster. That's how I know her from her time. She's one of us. So the fact that you guys are drooling over her voice makes sense, because she has a great delivery.
She does.
Where are you broadcasting?
Right now, I am in Sri Lanka. I was in Chicago. I used to do news for Steve Harvey. And then way back, 2004, 2005, around that time, when he first started back in radio. But right now, I have my own show in Sri Lanka. It's called The Wind Down Zone. Okay. So, yeah.
We can pick it up you can pick it up online, right?
You can.
Okay, well, go ahead and tell it. I mean, you got an audience here. Tell them how they can hear you.
Not to distract from the point of this, but yeah. So I'm on E88.3 in Sri Lanka. We do stream live on EFN.lk. So anyone who wants to listen, we deal with all things love. So
all things love.
Mr. Mike Love, you can join me. Yeah.
Oh, you're an expert. You're an expert, huh?
I'm an expert on love.
Yeah.
That's what I'm thinking. I'm inviting you to become my co-host. That would be fabulous. But yeah, no, it's a great show. We have great listenership. It's an 8 p.m. to midnight show. but which is very uncommon in Sri Lanka. It's not really a prime time as such, but it's taken off really beautifully, and God has really blessed us to have some incredible listeners who participate and keep it going. They weren't very happy about me coming over here, to be honest. So, yeah. Take a break. Yeah.
Well, I want to jump back and ask Christopher a question right quick. You were talking about you being a realtor, and this time in home sales is like crazy. I mean, it's spiraling basically out of control. So where would the market be? How would you be able to get affordable housing even if it became available with the market spiraling out of control right now?
So with that, I mean, that's an incredible question, and in essence, I have an answer for you. So that's a good thing, also. Okay. So there are a couple of managing brokers that actually deal with off-market housing, and they more or less take in our calls and say, this is something great. So in essence, there's one guy. I send a shout out to Coach Perdue. He takes a lot of the houses. He gets them from the land bank or whatever, the houses that are distressed. And he'll actually put them together real nicely, and he'll sell them for like a real economic price. So I feel as if, the ladies here, if they want to shoot for $200,000, $300,000 houses, that's fine. But, $150,000 house would do just fine as far as the mortgage is concerned. So we do have, we have
Chicago? Isn't that real cheap for Chicago?
It's not a lot of house at the same time, maybe right around 1,200 square feet, 1,000 to 1,200 square feet, you know what I mean? Maybe a ranch or something. A really small bungalow. I mean, they're out there, but I mean, like regular people don't see them. Like it's really just what the realtors network. That's what it is, and it will be more along the lines of a philanthropic type of work anyway. It won't, because we're only going to house 5 families per home, so it's not like we're doing like a whole bunch to where we're going to flood the market with these new buyers. So we're going to keep our numbers low in essence to give them the adequate attention that they need.
Okay, and as a realtor right now, you're balling out of control, huh?
It's crazy. Yeah, it's ridiculous. Yeah, it really is.
Mike said it. That wasn't me. Mike was thinking that.
I was thinking it, but I wasn't going to say it. I was just thinking. Well,
that's me. I say what everybody's thinking.
I know. But you know what's really crazy about it, taking a serious side of it? It really isn't about balling out of control because there are not enough houses. That's the problem, and that's why the cost is going up. Now, if he was just selling houses left and right, that would be different. But they're waiting on brick, they're waiting on materials and this kind of stuff. And so basically, the real estate, the realtors, well, let me say the builders for new homes probably get a better advantage than the sale of pre-existing properties, because now when you go to buy a home, you basically have to bid on it. If the house was $235,000 and the realtor says, well, this house is $235,000, it's 1,671 square feet, yada, yada, yada. But now you got 5 people in line, and now all these people are bidding on this house. Now he's going to get his commission any way it goes. But at the same time, it's really not balling. It's almost kind of a headache. I mean, Christopher, jump in here and correct me if I'm wrong.
So with that, everyone has a challenge, even builders. So I work with builders also. So in essence, in Chicago and the prime areas, to buy lots of land, it's the same thing that's happening there too. You have a place in Bronzeville that would have sold for $85,000. They're trying to sell it for $280,000 at this point. So it's kind of like everyone is feeling it, but it's the thing of how you maneuver around as far as with your clients, how to make them look, a little bit more better than the other people that are buying. And actually, my thing is I get sellers, so I win a lot of the time. I mean, buyers they're great, but it's like with this market, buying doesn't really work, but selling does.
It's a seller's market.
Seller's market. There you go.
Bidding wars going on like all the time. And I get so tired of getting these notices in from realtors talking about, hey, I'll buy your house cash right now. I'm like, what am I going to do? Rent?
Right. Move out of state, probably. Yeah.
I mean, listen, if I could go home and live with my parents, I would in a heartbeat. Of course I can't because they sold their house. So, yeah. Oh, well. I come there with Mike, help him fill up that big ass house he just bought.
Yeah.
It's not that big, but it's comfortable, you know. And I pray every day for God giving me this house. And you know, and we thank Christopher and Lili for coming in, because this is a very sensitive matter about housing. Yeah. And it was shocking when Chris was going over with us, you know, what the topic it was going to be, you know, in reference to, and especially then you pick a gender side of the problem that says women are having problems going through this. I mean, it was like it was just kind of spiraling out of control. So it just makes you shake your head.
Well, homelessness in general is just one of the saddest things. And if you ever seen up close what these homeless camps are like, one time I was leaving a remote from the radio station I was working at not long ago, and I had to walk to the train to go home because I caught the train there. But I went a different way. I went like the back way, and I went under this overpass, and I saw a whole bunch of tents and cardboard boxes underneath this overpass, and I was like, these people were homeless, and it was blazing hot out there. I felt so bad seeing it up close. It's just like, wow. I mean, and to think of women being out there with children is veterans. That's just, I mean, it's really the unthinkable. It really is.
It is. It really is. And again, when Lili brought to my attention, I mean, you're going to shock mode, because you know it exists out there, unfortunately, with homeless. But then you just picture the fact of a female veteran, obviously served time, either alone or with children, and this is what happens. It's a stark reality, and it needs to be addressed. I mean, I'm doing my best to help with Christopher and Lili get the message out there, because it needs to be, it needs spotlight, and that's just saying the least. And the more people get on board, and the more people want to donate their time or money or both, is going to galvanize the movement. So I'm glad that we got a chance to bring you two on.
Anything that you have written in regards to a public service message or script on what you do, please send them to Chris so he can send them to me, and I can get my students to voice them. And we'll give them some work to do to put it on the radio, you know, where we at the university where I teach, you know. Any cause like that that's going to help somebody, you know, I'm gonna add what little I can, you know, to help.
Chris actually has a video that we produced. It tells the whole story. I was able to create that. It's very short, 3 minutes long. And it does give everything we're doing in that. Chris agreed it was well put together. So, you know, please do take a look at that. And also we've got press releases, brochures, everything that we've done. Chris has copies of everything. So we'd be so grateful. That'd be amazing. Thank you, Professor. Really appreciate it.
And just to get the fact that Professor Reggie Miles is a professor at the Chicago State University. I had to say that for him, because that's where he is.
Amazing.
Wonderful. Absolutely. Any parting words between the both of you about your cause, and more information about where you can find information about what you're doing?
I have a client comment, so I'm going to leave it to Lil real quick. Go ahead, baby. Talk to him.
Okay, sorry, Chris. What was the question?
So, parting last words and more information about your cause.
And you can take as long as you want with that British accent. Just keep on talking.
Okay, so we're just grateful for this opportunity. Thank you so much. And my desire is really to see this get as much attention as we can draw towards it. Funds obviously is the main problem right now. There's a lot of funding out there, but the time it takes to actually turn that over, we're looking to make this happen as soon as possible. And so anyone who's able to just partner with us and see something materialize, like in real time. I'm just looking at Mr. Wild's face.
Mr. Wild. You ever see a Bugs Bunny cartoon with the heart-shaped hearts coming out of his eyes? Yeah, that's Mr. Wild. Yeah.
Oh, I love accents. Sorry.
You know what? But you know, my heart. The reason why when Chris talked to me about this and said, you know, this is what's on my heart, I did the research. and found out that, because of the mental status of these women, they are literally so terribly distraught and weak mentally. They need as much support as they can get to get back up on their feet. And so I really would, I'd be so grateful if anyone could contact us. I mean, Chris has all our information, and I'm going to take you to the other side of the house because me and Chris are competing here. But to just really look at empowering them. I want to see them reposition. Our tagline is repositioning women to empower them to go from homelessness to home ownership. And in doing that, I think just what it will do for the women in terms of just gaining their confidence back and believing in themselves again, I think it would play a huge part. And so we are going to be very hands-on. That's where we are different from many other programs out there where it's just a temporary fix. We're believing for a permanent fix, to see them prosper, to do well in life, and to be able to get their children on the right track as well, that it won't carry through to the next generation. We want to be that support to them. So we'd love anything that anyone can do. We've got a house to furnish, and the other two houses that we're looking at as well. Chicago Furniture Bank has very kindly said that they will furnish the properties, the new houses that these women are about to, go and become a resident of. Yeah, so we, got that hooked up. So it's looking beautiful. In 5 months, we've had the support of Rotary, and they've given their support as well. And so it's building, it's happening, and it's very exciting. So I'm actually looking to move to Chicago to see this happen, and
where are you now?
Yeah, in Sri Lanka. I'm actually living in Sri Lanka. No, I came over for the launch. The launch is on the 11th of September. So I just flew in 2 days ago. Yep, I flew in 2 days ago, long flight. and so I'll be going back in a couple of weeks, but I'm looking to move here permanently again. So yes, it's very exciting, and we're so grateful for this time with all of you. You have a great show. I watched you last week as well. I couldn't stop laughing. So keep on doing what you're doing.
We apologize in advance for last week.
In advance?
It was
You mean after the fact?
Hey,
you guys have a great dynamic. You really do. It's amazing chemistry. So yeah, very encouraging.
Don't encourage these guys.
It was good having you.
Thank you. Thank
you. Appreciate you all. And Chris, thank you so much for your support. You're an amazing friend. Thank you.
Have you guys all taken your pills?
What pills? Viagra? What are you talking about?
Okay, there you go. Now I'm getting later. There you go. See, I didn't say. I ain't say.
What the hell are you talking about?
When? Oh, no wonder. I wonder why you
Lili,
said, because
peace.
you're
I'll
next
talk
to
to you
Dr. Ron.
Bye,
God bless you guys. Thank you so much.
Bye.
Miss
Peace,
Lili.
Lili. Peace.
I almost blew our kiss, but I realized her boyfriend's in the other room. Probably not a good idea. I can't help myself.
Buck wild. Buck wild.
I did not.
Yeah,
But I did not. I did not.
Dirty buck wild.
Yeah. Dirty ass. Dirty ass.
Dirty.
Dirty ass.
Look, I am so glad we got a young pedophile on the show.
Yeah. Every show should have one.
She's grown, Negro. What are you talking about? Are you kidding?
Oh, you molested that lady right on the air, man. Stop.
Oh my God! Did you see the crazy look where he was like this?
Yeah. Look, Chris.
I was trying to look straight at the camera.
Okay, stop it. Okay, don't do that no more.
You gonna start Christopher going having flashbacks as a Marine. You know they can go off now.
No, I'm sure he knows what he got. He needs to keep himself in check.
Was it both military?
Dr. Ron, she threw it out there, said she just got over here yesterday, and then, she may have to go back, but she's looking to stay. I mean, she threw it out there. I mean, he on the phone, so he didn't hear it.
Right, exactly.
Oh, yeah, he was still on camera.
Yeah, he was
I remember that crap. I was like,
right.
Oh, yes,
Look, wait a minute. Look, he started sweating, talking about, I don't know if I'm ready for marriage yet or not.
You're right. He's like, I got too many hoes here already. Are you kidding?
Yeah, because he changed the position. First they was together, then they was just friends, then they was just. I just met her yesterday.
His assistant.
Right. She got demoted real quick, didn't she? You know, I'm like, okay.
Hey, after tonight, he gonna straighten up. Watch. You're like, okay, maybe I need to. Where does Buckwild live?
Is he in Chicago?
Why don't you guys?
That's what we need Professor to put the eyebrow up. When they start changing,
listen, I'm trying to be cool. I let you guys carry on the intelligent conversation. I stayed in the back. I was calm. Everything was cool. I was about to get up and go get me some wine. But you know, and just so I could really stay cool. But y'all trying to push me. Y'all trying to push the envelope. I see it.
You know what?
The eyebrow. Hit me with the eyebrow one more time. The eyebrow. There it
is. Hey, Chris Bass, great guest, man. Great guest.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we didn't think it was gonna be all that great, but it turned out to be awesome.
Hey, me neither.
and you guys did great. You all did great on your commentary, asking some intelligent,
especially that guy down there.
And questions. Yeah, Mike, you was killing it. You know.
Yeah. That's all those years of doing mornings. That's Mike Love right there. He was a great morning guy.
Yeah, well, I don't have problems following the lead. And so when Chris set it up, I thought that they were the ones that were suffering from not getting the house. That's what led me into asking about, oh, damn, y'all ain't married, because they said something, and it was like, wait a minute, they ain't married. So what's going on here? So I thought it was them, Chris. I didn't mean to throw it off, but I thought
I knew they were I knew they were just advocates, but I was just kind of wondering what was taking them so long to get the shit together, because it kind of seemed like they were just really struggling trying to make it happen. I was like, so what are the problems?
I tell you what's taking so damn long, because he got to get rid of something else before he can go in and cash on that. And she just like, I'm here.
You got to get rid of his other hoes.
You guys are making this more than what it needs to be.
Plus, it's fun.
You know, you're instigators.
She was like, I'm here. I'm here. I got here like yesterday. I did my part.
You had plenty of time to let all the other girls know.
So
I was having difficulties, so I missed all of that.
Man, look.
Oh, man.
He said it best. You guys are instigators. See, y'all can say this shit, and I got to go back and work with them.
That's
so
tell them
y'all here, and I got to go back and work with these people.
Tell them it's a comedy show now, so it's all fun and games.
Okay, all right. You ain't the one going to say it.
Right. Hey, give me your phone number. I'll call her and tell her.
Oh, there you go. There you go.
Eyebrow.
No, I shan't.
You're going to be in the witness protection program too.
I'm kidding.
I'm kidding. I'm just going to ask Dr. Ron not to say the comment that's written all over his face. Don't say nothing, Ron. Dr. Ron, don't say quiet. Don't say nothing.
Okay.
Don't say nothing, Ron.
Hey, look, I don't have to be the damn fool all the time. I thank y'all for being here.
You're welcome, sir. You're welcome.
Because usually they wrote me in the sand and retarded crazy stuff, but say, hey, I love it. Hey, look, let me slide into the next piece, okay? Last week, we had such a maiden voyage, and we talked about radio and broadcasting and all those wonderful things. And I never did get a chance to talk about the piece that I had originally sent in. And I think it's kind of interesting. I can open it up and then do the follow-up at the same time because it's a week later. Reverend Jessie Jackson and his wife were hospitalized on last week, both being confirmed tested positive with COVID-19. Now, Jessie Jackson, who is 79 years old, and his wife, Jacqueline Jackson, is 77 years old. Now, when the vaccinations originally came out, Jessie was one of the first people to get in line and get the vaccination. Now, his wife did not get the vaccination. So they both were traveling around the world. He went to Paris and got that award and came back and was Bud Billiken Parade, and he's all over the place. So then they both got sick, and they both wound up in the hospital with COVID. Now, I'm finna throw something at y'all now. Y'all finna look at me crazy. According to what the medical community says, quote unquote, air quotes, people that have had the vaccination will suffer with mild conditions and will successfully live. Now, because his wife did not take the vaccination,
he's a little nervous.
Then technically, according to what the medical community says, she's supposed to die.
Oh, wow.
Oh, yeah, but you can't.
Well, no, but she's still being treated for COVID, and he is not. He's in the hospital, he's out, but he's being treated for his Parkinson's, not COVID.
Right.
So what the CDC and the medical community is saying apparently is true based on this particular case. He's doing better, and he had obviously a milder case than his wife, and she's still in the hospital
because he had the vaccine.
Right.
Yeah, he's in a nursing home following up with treatment for his Parkinson's. Correct. That's the follow up. Now his wife, Jacqueline, was moved from intensive care back into a regular room at the hospital, but she's still receiving treatment. She's still on oxygen, and she is recovering.
She is recovering. Well, that's good news.
Yeah, she's recovering. Yeah. But what I'm saying is they said the medical community have been blasting all across the media that anybody that does not take the vaccination is supposed to be perishing because they didn't go out and take that's what they've been saying.
Negro, that's what they've been saying.
That's what they've been saying.
You're extrapolating, dude. Come on. They don't say, well, you know what? If you didn't take the vaccine, you are gonna die. They didn't say that. They're just saying your chances are higher of dying if you don't get the vaccine. You know that. Come on.
Well, what's
just
the difference between the two?
Right. But they said that you will either have a tougher time, or that you could your chance of dying is at a higher rate than those
and a higher chance of hospitalization too.
It sounds like y'all sugarcoating it to me, Professor. It sounds sugarcoating.
No, I'm just stating the facts. I'm stating what is being.
I yield my time to the panel because that's a little bit too deep for me. I yield my time to the panel.
Thank you.
Okay.
Well, of course, let me say this. I do not wish anything bad on either one of them. Okay.
Really?
Yeah, I do not. I'm just pointing out the fact that here's a family with a scenario where we have someone who did take it and somebody who didn't take it. Okay. And
his recovery was faster than his wife's.
Yeah. Okay. So
and that's what the CDC has been saying.
And the question is, why the hell didn't she take it?
I don't want to read nothing into none of that. I don't, because it could have been God. I don't want to read nothing into none of that and let it go just because somebody had this one isolated incident and they got it. We can't charge up. We folks on the end, on the fringe. We cannot give them no reason to want to. Well, see, that's why I don't got to take the shot. Jessie's wife, she survived. We can't charge up folk like that. No, we can't charge. So just.
Okay, so the answer to the question, Jacqueline Jackson did not get vaccinated because she had a pre-existing condition. That's what. Okay, that was the report.
Wait a minute. See, now I'm on. Felicia, bring me some wine.
Yeah, bring me some wine too. Professor, yield
And
back
shit
your
me
time.
some over here too.
Yeah, I gotta take my. I gotta.
Tell Felicia my glass getting empty.
Yeah, you know, I
I'm gonna give
gotta
you some
take.
tequila.
Listen. There are a lot of people, including myself, that had a pre-existing condition, and when they talked about getting that shot, I told them I need that hit. I want that hit.
Damn right.
The same one. I got mine quick right away. You know, so
Mike, you got yours, right?
We gonna have to go.
I got the one and done.
You got see, and Mike didn't let his mental condition affect whether or not he got the shot. See,
my mental condition is stronger than any medication on earth. That's why they over here got me censored right now. There's some people in the background going, "Don't say that." Stop, don't do that.
The people in your head, right?
So
they back there. They behind the bookshelf.
So we need to take this. We need to take this conversation all the way back to what does this virus do to your body? What does it do? And then how
Make
does
your ass sick?
Right? We know that, but what does it do? You know, because I'm thinking that people were dying from the COVID-19 because it was causing blood clots. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And
well,
so let me finish before y'all start going in at it and turn it into Swiss cheese. Let me finish.
Sorry, sir.
And then the reason why I got the shot is because if the one thing that I wanted to protect myself from was from my body getting these blood clots to end up choking me. So that was my primary reason for taking it. So what does this virus, how does it kill you? And how does the shot protect you?
It attacks the respiratory system. Now, let me preface this by saying that I am not a doctor. I'm just a really smart Negro, okay?
I'm just glad you don't play one on TV, radio, or any media
outlet
that we have to fucking look at.
I could. No, but listen, it attacks the respiratory system. Correct. Your lungs in particular. It's supposed to be, and you know what? They say that even if you get it and you recover, that there could be lasting repercussions because of the damage that it's done to your lungs. Mm-hmm. So if you had any kind of respiratory issues before, like asthma, real bad asthma, I mean, I had asthma as a kid, and I have a little inhaler now just for, when I get, what do you call it?
Want to get high.
Asthma attacks, right. But usually my asthma attacks are triggered by some sort of allergen. But anyway, that's one of the reasons why I was so scared of it, because, that would have been really bad. And then it attacks your lungs, and then it decreases the level of oxygen in your blood. So I got one of those little things they put on your finger to test the oxygen in your blood. So like if I feel like I got a little cough or whatever, I'll put that thing on and say, okay, good, I ain't got COVID. But that's one of the ways it's like more dangerous than say the flu or whatever. It attacks and it's vicious. It's vicious.
It's crazy that you said that, because the whole time in the beginning I said I wasn't gonna take the shot, and until I saw someone turned upside down on a respirator in the bed, it scared me right to the pharmacy to take it, because there
was a lot of people that were on respirators. So that's like and then
I saw they had the bed turned upside down because they couldn't breathe and having them on their back.
Right. Now look, let me ask you a question. Let me address Barbara Jean right quick. ABC News in Chicago reported that Jackson, who is 79 and has Parkinson's disease, remains at the Shirley Ryan Ability Lab, where he is receiving intensive occupational and physical therapy, the family has said. So that's where we got the information about him being in a facility.
How old is that story, bro?
No, this is just like days. This one
days. Well, a lot of things can happen in days. If it ain't today,
this is Tuesday, August the 31st. Okay. So that was just a couple of days ago.
Yeah, I remember seeing that story as well. And maybe he is at home now. I don't know, but let me ask you a question here. Let's go through the 6 people on screen here. Chris, are you vaccinated?
Yes.
Okay. You had both shots?
Yeah, both shots. Pfizer within 2 weeks of each other in July.
Okay. Buck Wild.
Damn right I am. I was the first in line. As soon as they say everybody can get it, I'm like, I'm there.
So you have.
Oh, and I got the Pfizer, by the way. The 2 shots. I had to go back.
Right. I've also received Pfizer. I've had both shots in May and June, 2 weeks apart. And Professor, you have received it also, right?
Man, I took them hits in February.
Okay.
February 11th, and then on the 23rd. I need those hits. Got to have them. The same ones.
So did you have James Brown playing when you got
As soon as I walked in there, I put it on my iPhone. I just dot dee dot dot, because when we had that show that weekend, that's the first thing I said. Dot dee dot 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 dee dot 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 dee dot dot. I say, hit me. You know, and they was cracking up because I wanted mine. I wanted mine right away. My wife had hers 2 days later.
I was skeptical in the beginning because, you know, it was still a lot of uncertainty and it was new, and I felt that maybe it was rushed out a little soon. Although, and the reason I went with Pfizer is because they had been researching this thing for at least 10 years. So
wait, hold on. What were you scared of? Were you scared it's going to kill you or something? What? I don't get it. When people say that, I don't get it. You know.
Well, we didn't know. Plus, we had an idiot as a president that was telling people, you know, a lot of crazy stuff. So
good point.
I didn't want to believe anything that he said. You know,
good
he
point.
was telling people to suck on some Clorox and bleach and all kind of crazy stuff.
Goodness.
He did say
he has
that.
no credibility.
He did say that on national
Yeah.
television.
Yeah.
Oh goodness. Well, drink some bleach.
Okay. Okay. So, Mike, you have been
Johnson & Johnson, one and done.
You're the only person I know that has received Johnson & Johnson.
Me too.
I was originally going to do it because of the one-shot deal, but then after the report came out that there were some issues, you know, with blood clotting and some of the other issues.
That's the problem with it. Its effect rate is the lowest of all of them, the Moderna and the Pfizer.
So,
did you hear about I'm sorry. Did you hear that the Moderna supposedly from this new study has the most antibodies? It creates the most antibodies out of all of them, and they had no idea at first that it was going to be that. I thought that was funny, but anyway, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Well, a sister did the Moderna. A sister did the Moderna. That was her work.
What sister?
A black woman. I don't know the girl's name, but check it out. But the black girl, the black woman, physician, she was doing the study on the Moderna. I went with the Pfizer because of the blue pill, man. I mean, I would have did
the same thing. And probably accidentally took the Moderna again, thinking I was taking over.
Yeah, man. When I saw Pfizer, I said, "Oh man, shoot yeah!" I told the doctor. I told my doctor. I said, "The brothers ain't got no problem going in there and get the blue shot."
Okay, I'm confused. What does that? I'm googling it though. What does
the blue pill? You don't know about the blue pill?
You don't know what the blue pill is?
I know what the blue pill is.
That's another show, y'all.
Man, how can you be Buck Wild and not know that?
That's another whole show right there.
How can you be Buck Wild and not know that?
Chris, help me out here, please. Help me out here with these old men, because I really don't know.
Show. That's another whole show.
As the old commercial said, my brother, you gotta get your own.
now look. Okay. In addition,
wait a minute. Hold your thought, because we haven't finished the 6-panel survey. So, Dr. Ron, have you been vaccinated yet?
So I refuse to answer that because I do not have to disclose my medical information to the public.
There you go.
Means no.
Okay.
That means no. Hell no.
And I don't look like an idiot in front of all you Negroes.
so check this out.
And a human being.
And in addition to the story y'all tie together, there was an anti-mask rally organizer named Caleb Wallace.
30 years old.
In Texas. He was holding rallies, telling people that it was all a joke, it was a lie, all of those things. He dies from COVID in Texas 2 days ago, left his pregnant wife. Okay, they're doing a GoFundMe page right now, trying to raise money to bury this guy because he went into a coma and died. This thing, he believed in this thing not being real so much.
Yeah,
he died from it.
Yeah,
okay?
He was willing to bet his life like an idiot.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, it's his choice.
Okay, so how many people need to die before more people understand that this is not a joke?
Okay, you know, I think half the population on the earth could die, and there'll still be people going, I ain't gonna get no vaccine. It may kill me.
Yeah, this
and
guy,
people are dying every day.
He was so serious about it. He was holding rallies. He was going all across Middle Texas, campaigning.
Hey, I have a theory. I think some people just want to prove themselves right. It's so important to them to be right about something that they're willing to stake their life on it. It's so freaking silly. It really is. I've got two nephews. I love them dearly, and neither one of them, the little Negroes, will take the vaccine. And I'm just like, come on. My sister, their mother took it, their stepdad, everybody in the family's taking it. But they just absolutely refuse because they want to be right.
Yeah.
And here's the thing. I was having a conversation with someone a couple of days ago, and they said they knew someone who refuses to take the vaccine because they don't know what's in it. Okay. I said, so
look it up.
Okay. Right. But listen. We don't know what's in it when you go to McDonald's and buy a burger.
Hey.
We don't know what's in it when you
don't know what's in that chicken sandwich from Popeye.
You don't know nothing. So you have to go on somewhat blind faith and believe that some part of our system is real. And listen, hundreds of thousands of people have died. Oh, what is it? Is it close to 700,000 now in America?
Yeah, over 700,000. Yeah.
Over 700, and millions worldwide. So this is not just a U.S. thing; it's a worldwide thing. And if there's any people on the moon, y'all better be careful up there too, because we'll bring it to you.
Now we all know history repeats itself, right? So they had this 100 years ago. It was a thing that happened. And I wonder, I guess the next time if this comes, and I don't know, I won't be here, the next 100 years, they'll have information on how people responded. But will they give this information out to try to convince people? Because this won't be the last virus to happen. It's going to be another one. See, did we have any data or any information from what they were doing in 1918 when the Spanish flu hit?
Nope.
Well, we didn't have the technology and the medical experience and wherewithal or the medicines to treat that. And millions of people around the world died from that. That was pretty devastating. I think we're a lot smarter today.
Something, my grandmother, she survived that. Like I think she was about 18 or 19, 20 years. And I didn't get a chance to wrap her, and she never told us about what was going on at that time, with our families, because it was a lot of our families that survived, that first, I wouldn't be here if my people didn't survive that Spanish flu of 1918. What did we do to,
You're talking about the flu, what do they call that?
Spanish flu.
It wasn't the Spanish flu?
Yeah. 1918.
Oh, I thought it was called something else anyway. But listen, this is the scary thing, okay? and I know you guys are probably all up on it because you're a fairly intelligent gentleman, and that is the overuse of antibiotics. They say in the next 10, 15 years, antibiotics are going to be ineffective because we're overusing them, and people will start to die again from infections, from just the slightest bacterial infection, because antibiotics won't have any effectiveness. That's what scares the crap out of me.
Well, they do say they can't keep giving you the same one to treat a certain type of disease. They got to switch it up because the disease itself will say, "Oh, penicillin, come on in here."
Right, but the bacteria is getting resistant to it. So if you get one of those resistant virus bacteria,
that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, you got problems, and that's scary. To go back to a time before antibiotics, it's like, really?
Yeah. Well, the good thing about that is the technology evolved. Well, they developed new antibiotics that will be effective at the time that whatever disease is coming forth to attack us.
Do they develop new ones?
Oh yeah. Yeah, and then I can remember when I was a young man, penicillin used to work for everything. And now they have to identify the strand of disease before they prescribe anything. Wow. So that they're not doing an umbrella cure anymore. They're doing a specific cure based on the type of
treatment.
Yes.
Yeah, not necessarily a cure, but a treatment.
Yeah. Yeah,
and the pygmies are still rolling on.
Everybody on the panel was waiting to had something to say about that.
Did he say the pygmies?
And the pygmies are still rolling on, man. They ain't worried about none of this stuff, man.
But okay, I'm old enough to remember I think the first wave of vaccines for polio, and anybody during that generation, you got a scar on your shoulder from the injection.
That's right.
And
a scar?
I want to say,
what do they cut you open to put it in?
No. It was a
reaction.
type
it was a skin reaction.
Needle, the type of needle or needles that they use. If I remember correctly, I think I might have been 5. So we're talking 1955.
Everybody got it right there.
Right there on your shoulder.
Right there, you got it right there.
Hey, let me check it out.
Everybody got one.
But
you got one.
You don't have one.
They looked.
It's probably covered with hair.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. I'm a hairy.
Well, y'all remember you talking to a guy that grew up.
I got the math in me.
Yeah, you're talking to a guy that grew up in California. They didn't do a lot of stuff right in California.
Hey.
Well, but let me finish my point. And I want to say I was maybe 5. So if I was 5, I was old enough to remember the drama that I had to go through, the trauma to get that shot, because it didn't hurt.
You remember that?
But yeah, I do. I remember going to. What was the name of the place? It was in Norfolk, Virginia, my hometown. I want to say, what was the name of it? It was a little hospital. It's not there anymore.
You got a hell of a memory.
It'll come to me in a minute. But we went in there, we got the shot, and everybody. And I've heard my mom and dad and my sisters who are about 10 years older than me, talk about that whole polio thing, and we have basically eradicated polio around the world. I mean, there's every now and then there's a little breakout of it. But was there a big pushback on that?
I don't know.
But I don't remember it being that as blown up as it is now.
Maybe because maybe because the president had it, and so everybody's like, okay,
right. I was just getting ready to say it means several people, you saw they'd have the limp or something, and they go, yeah, he had polio when he was a kid.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Well, maybe that was part of it, but we have a different technology today, cell phones and the internet and all of that. So propaganda, misinformation gets out in the public and spreads fast, and it gets legs, and it just starts running, and you can't outrun it or stop it.
Right.
So I'm thinking that, you know, this is a polio moment, if in my viewpoint or point of view, and the misinformation that's out here on the internet primarily is dangerous, and people are dying from it because they're believing a bunch of poppycock.
Yeah, that's just like
So,
the latest thing today is, you know, they had this guy who was also an advocate against not taking any vaccinations, and his way, once he, you know, tested positive, was to treat himself by taking horse worming medicine.
That's interesting. He probably ended up like this later on.
Yeah. Look,
Now,
every doctor in every city was saying, please do not take medicine to rid horses of worms. Okay.
I have a friend. One of my good friends is a professor at UCLA, and goodness, she is fine too. Oh, but she said, "Listen, I hadn't talked to her in a long time. We talked the other day, and I would just assume that since she's so smart, that she would have been vaccinated." And so I don't know. It came up, and she was like, "Oh, well, you know, I haven't gotten vaccinated." I'm like, "Why not?" And she's like, "Well, you know, I've been taking all this natural stuff. Now, I'm going to get it at the end of the year, but I've been to this holistic stuff." And I'm just like, "Really? You ate too, Brutus?" And she was just like, but she said she's going to get it. She said she heard that there's some new vaccine coming out at the end of the year, because some of her friends in the medical industry said, "Oh, there's going to be a new one at the end of the year. It's going to be great." But then I'm like, well, how long is it going to take to get approved? It ain't going to be no emergency usage like this, like the first couple months, because it was an emergency. It ain't going to be no emergencies. What, you going to wait 5 years until it gets approved? 10 years? Right.
Listen,
you don't get it. Watch.
I had so many soldiers close to me, and in my community, they were falling.
Mm-hmm.
It was like 3 and 4 a month. Folks were falling. It had got me so riled up and scared that I started trying to capture oral history of some of the dancers in the stepping community, because one of the elders had came to me and said to me, he said, if we don't do something, there's going to be nothing. If you don't do something, Reggie, there's nothing going to be left out here on us, because this thing was real. I mean, we was hearing a couple of people survived, but it was more people that was going to the other side than it was surviving. And I mean, we would see this person, and then the next thing you know, we hear they in the hospital, and then the next thing you know, we hear they gone. So when they decided that this vaccine was coming, and when it was going to be ready, the village that I lived in, they sent me some information. And so I went in an hour early. Give me mine, you know, because whatever it took to keep me here, I wouldn't, because I already have pre-existing conditions. I wasn't going to play Superman. And if I was going to play Superman, that meant that I have to stay in the house all the time. And then, you know, and that's what I did for 18 months. This is the first time I've been on campus, like in a year and a half, right? Wow. And we all masked up and everything. And it's a trip.
Oh, by the way, too, something else I wanted to mention. I got some, I don't have it there in the car now. I got some of those little cloth masks that everybody wears with they're black and they're cloth and they look cool. So I decided I want to try some. I ran out of my N95 masks, and they were so much easier to breathe. Guess what? They don't work. If the mask is hard for you to breathe, that means that shit works. And I was like, wouldn't you know it? So I had to order some more N95 masks off the internet. But I'm just like, it was so disappointing. I see the majority of people that I see in my neighborhood, like at the grocery store and stuff. Yeah, like, well, that's not even a real mask, Reggie. Is that a real mask or is that a scarf?
That's like the mask from the Dark Knight movies. Yeah, that's like Bane.
Is that a real mask? Oh, okay. Oh,
yeah,
that's Bane. Those don't work because it's easy to breathe.
It's got a filter in it. That will work.
Well, no, the filters are even the worst. You're talking about the ones with the valve let you breathe. Yeah, those are the worst. They let more stuff in. The N95 and the KN95s are the ones that work, and they're difficult to breathe. And you feel sorry for people who got to wear them all day. But damn it, I want something that works.
Yeah.
You know, you go back and talk about Ron, the activist that died, who was totally against getting the vaccine.
Right.
We got one that died that was pretty close to home to what we do in radio. His name is Phil Valentine in Nashville, conservative talk show host. He died last week from it, and was on the air cutting up just like this other guy that you were making reference to earlier, in reference to people not, taking the vaccine because it's dangerous.
So was he vaccinated?
No.
And what happened? And what happened to Herman Cain?
Herman,
there you go.
Herman, wasn't he like 80 something?
It don't matter how old he was. He went to the rally.
Look, he was one of the first ones to die.
He was one of the first ones,
right? And, apparently,
he had all that French girl Monet.
Yeah,
couldn't help him.
No, didn't help him.
The French girl Monet. The French girl Buck Wild.
What French girl?
See, you gotta send him a text, man. He don't understand.
The French girl.
Would you tell him what Monet means? Just
spell it, Buck Wild. Spell it.
MONET.
No, yeah, okay, but take the T and change it to a Y.
Why don't you just say money then, Negro? I don't get it.
No, I said that. No. That's the professor thing. I call it the French girl Monet. Everybody wants her. She's green. There's not no one that will turn down Monet. There's no one Buck Wild. That's the reason why you do your job, because of the French girl. You want to have her. When you have her, Buck Wild, other women want to be with you because you have Monet.
The French girl type.
Yes. And they love it. They love it when men. They love it when men are accompanied by the French girl Monet, MONEY. You know how we spell it in the hood? MONEY. In the hood, not MONET. That's the French side. No, MONEY. Monet.
I bet you won't play Don no more, will you? Any more questions about what it is?
Monet.
And I bet you go, if you take out a woman and you got a date and you tell her that you don't have Monet, she gonna do the boys start off on you.
He was a Fed chairman, so he knew what that Monet was. He left money on the nightstand and it wasn't at his house. He left money on the nightstand that wasn't at his house. That's all I'm saying. That ain't slander. That's the truth. The truth is that you're free.
Oh, Lord.
Hey, Chris, you're real silent right now, so you're probably just as lost as I am. But you've been hanging out with these old guys a lot longer than me, though.
Look, man, I understand the lingo and the language. It's not that far of a stretch, no matter what the age is.
True, very true.
No, you're Nicky Nuki on the block. You'll come around eventually. So you just have to learn like anybody else. So Professor Reggie Mouse has his own lingo, the way he talks and everything else, and quoting music lyrics. He caught him off that. But when you catch on to other stuff, you'll get there eventually. It will take a while. I could go over your head like that, but you'll catch on eventually.
Well, he admitted it. He said earlier it was going over his head. He said it. I just don't do it.
Yeah. Well,
just curious.
Well, look, guys.
You're intelligent, and you spelled it like when you're in the bar, and like Moet, like the champagne. You put that ET on it, but when you dealing in the hood, you take the two. What is the prefix? What is it? The first part of the word, the MO. That's the prefix, right? And then you put the the nay is the fruit.
Nay on it.
Yeah, you put net on it, but no. In the hood, we call her nay. And then you put M-O on that, Monet. And everybody in our hood, we want it. We got to have it. OJ's made a song on it.
Money, 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 money.
And it was spelled M-O-N-E-T.
It didn't matter. They say what they meant.
And they say some people got to have it. Some people really need it. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you for the lesson, Professor.
You asked for that, brother.
I sure did. What was I thinking about?
Yeah.
Now, don't answer that in public.
Yeah.
Let me say the following too about this whole thing about getting the shot. Obviously, it's a judgment call. We all have a judgment call or altar call moment and say, no, what do we get the shot or not? And that's cool. But what happens, as you and I and everybody else knows, is that other sides have done a great job of making it about a issue or politics. So now it's like, if you do it for a certain party, you have to beat the drum. So Republicans mostly say, hey, look, let's go with Fox News, for example. Professor Reggie Mouse's favorite TV station. So you look at everybody once upon a time ago on the station, hey, don't get vaxxed. It's voodoo. It doesn't make any sense to it. And all of a sudden you change the narrative because what happened? People on the staff behind the scenes was getting, COVID-19.
Right.
So then there was a split amongst the people on Fox News. You had the happy people in the morning with the Fox News and Friends. They're saying, look, go out and get it. They changed their tune. Go out and get it. Sean Handy still on the bandwagon. Even Tucker Carlson. He even changed his name, and changed his whole thing and said, look, the whole shot thing. So when you look at the dynamics of people who are affected seriously, how can you sit there? I mean, you could lie all day long, but the fact remains that people are dying from this. So you do owe responsibility to certain people. Even Fox News had to admit, you know what? We got to push back. If you're going to go on there and say, don't get the shot, fine. But the rest of us is split. So it's a matter of your perception of what's real and what's not, or what you perceive as news you want to hear and receive.
But what's crazy about what you just said is that social media has us at the point in our lives where a message can be put out where someone is stupid enough to climb the Capitol or stupid enough to climb milk crate.
Right.
Right.
Think about that.
Yeah. And
it don't take much.
Look,
don't take much.
And we all know that no matter what we say in public, it could be something that we do in our private lives that nobody really knows for sure. So like you mentioned Fox News, everybody that's in public on Fox News probably got in that line and took that shot. So what they say out of their mouth, because everybody wants to live. They want to live.
Yeah, they brought the pharmacists to the damn radio TV studio.
Yeah. Cameo. Hey, you just talking out the side of your neck.
Go ahead.
So, respectful of everybody's views and opinions on what they believe and what they want to believe and what they say and what they're not saying, it's an individual choice. Right. And unfortunately, Caleb Wallace believed in what he believed in so much that he was willing to die for it. And now his family is without him and they're struggling to try and raise money to bury him because he honestly, truthfully believed what he believed.
Yeah.
And it cost him his life. So I would just say that do some research, listen to what the science is saying and do what it takes to stay alive.
That's right.
Amen.
Be safe, not sorry.
Yes.
I mean, be safe, because if you don't, you won't have a chance to be sorry.
Exactly.
Yeah,
And
Dr. Ron and I were talking earlier today about this teacher in Atlanta. I made a post on Facebook. This guy's in his probably late 30s, mid 30s, late 30s, maybe early 40s, a teacher. And this is last week. He died of COVID, and he had been vaccinated. So, a lot of people are using this to say, oh, well, what's the point of getting vaccinated if you're going to die anyway,
Right.
So anyway, I posted this, and my comment over the post was, you're just better off getting vaccinated. Something to the effect that most of the people that are dying are not vaccinated. There's just one case of one guy who was, but he might have had underlying conditions we don't know. So today, I got a comment on this thing. This is a couple of days ago. So today I got a comment, and it was from, believe it or not, I'll tell you who it was from in a second. The comment said, "That's a lie. Most of these people are dying, are vaccinated, and that you can't believe what these people are telling you. They're all lies." Whatever he said, I'm paraphrasing. Guess who it was supposedly from? Louis Farrakhan. And I'm like, and I'm a big Louis Farrakhan fan, okay? And I'm not particularly pleased that he's going around telling people in his speeches not to get the vaccine and don't trust it.
But did you hear it?
I heard him say that in the speech. Yeah, I did. And that's what was so disappointing. But anyway, so I was talking around. Maybe I called him. I said, dude, does he still live in Chicago? Because I was trying to figure out where this person on Facebook lived and if it was the real Louis Farrakhan. And Ron said, oh, yeah, he's in Chicago, but they banned him from Facebook a long time ago. I was like, oh, so it's not real. But it's just the fact that somebody responded saying, trying to have credibility, saying he's Louis Farrakhan, and said, that's a lie, that most of the people that are dying are vaccinated. I was just like, oh, goodness. Why is there so much misinformation? We were talking earlier about the internet. Lili was talking about earlier about the internet and how there's so much misinformation going around on this internet. And I remember having a pastor on my show about 10 years ago, and he was like, oh, the internet is the worst thing that has ever happened to the world. I was like, why? He said, because it has the propensity to let evil spread. I'm like, well, good spreads too. He says, yeah, but evil spreads so much faster by its very nature. And, that kind of stuck with me. But, the internet's not going anywhere. But, man, it's just, if it were, maybe it wouldn't be so bad if we didn't have an internet.
But also consider the source of where information comes from. So there was a viral video going around. One of my favorite rappers of all time, Busta Rhymes. I think the man.
Oh, I love Busta Buzz.
And Buster got on stage and told everybody, "Fuck your mask," and that was a direct quote.
Yeah, I saw
I'm
that.
like, no, Buster, don't say things like that. But that time it was too late. He's on stage talking about, we as the people need to get back together again. I need to see your smile. It's nice to be out. Don't social distancing and everything. And the direct quote was, "Fuck your mask." That really broke my heart because again, people look up to this man. He has a following like anybody else. Once again, one of the most prolific rappers of all time. But still, when you spew out that type of nonsense, I can't do it with you no more. I'm sorry, you're my man, but I can't rock and roll with you no more. Back to the stupid ass time. You're entitled to your opinion, but at the same time, it's just people not doing their research. And I understand about the aesthetics of being locked up, or quote unquote, or being shelter in place for a year and some change. We all went through that.
And nobody likes masks. Nobody likes them. No.
Right. But if we're going to use this to get out of where we are, then put on the damn mask and so we can get out of this thing.
Hey, Chris, I disagree with you when you say people aren't doing their research.
Okay.
And I'm being facetious here.
Sure.
They are doing their research because they're researching that idiots make money. It's just not for a long period of time.
I can see that.
You see what I'm saying? And so you get these people who will go out and follow people and do things that idiots do, because it's either you work hard, roll up your sleeves, to get to the top. And then you got these other people that will take, this whole thing. Who is this? Jeff Bezos? Who is it that just flew out of space for 10 minutes and came back? Was that Jeff Bezos?
Yeah, that was Bezos. Yeah.
Yeah. That was the most ridiculous thing ever. And then that lady, what was she, like 80?
Yeah.
I mean, that was a risk that wasn't worth taking. It proved
because that stuff is really dangerous.
Absolutely nothing.
It is.
It's really dangerous. Yeah.
It didn't prove anything. If they had went up there and took a snapshot of some Martians and came back, if something had monumental had happened, they literally flew into space for 10 minutes, floated around, and came back.
On the edge of space too. It's not like they went to the International Space Station or anything. Yeah.
What was the guy's name? The black astronaut that died, Ronald
McNair.
Yeah, Ronald McNair. I mean, that was horrific. That was horrific to see the explosion in real freaking time.
What?
Yes,
Tell me about
was.
that again. Can you recap? I forgot.
They were flying
the Challenger.
Challenger
20. The Challenger.
Yeah, Spaceship Challenger. Yeah.
Yeah.
On liftoff. It exploded.
Yeah.
While they were announcing it live.
I remember that.
Yeah. And they only had 579. They didn't have as many cable channels as they have now. So that was way before your time, Buckwild, before you even asked,
But if you get a chance to go to the East Coast, go to North Carolina A&T, because they honor him. He was, I believe they named the wing after him.
They did. They named the wing after him. That's correct. Yes. In Greensboro. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Love Greensboro.
What is?
Big shout out to QMG and 102 Jams. I worked at both of those stations.
That's right. You sure did. Yeah. But yeah, that's crazy. And so it's what Chris is saying. That's why I said I wasn't disagreeing, but I'm just saying it's the ignorance of what they will follow, just to get the attention. I mean, here you're going to sit here and tell people that forget the mask, I want to see your smile. Right. Why don't you just tell them, forget the mask, and I want to see what it looks like when you're laying up in a casket?
Well, now, the interesting thing is, I mean, he can have his own opinions, and that's one thing. He's just saying it on stage, and then going around the world virally. But when I shoot video for a living, and I had a gig this past weekend. Frank Ski is one of the big DJs here in Atlanta and up in DC. He got his own bourbon, and so he did this big release party and was signing autographs. And so anyway, so I would pull people aside after they got their autograph and get a little testimonial from them about what they thought of it, and what did they think it was going to taste like, and that sort of stuff, or if they've tried it. Anyway, so most people had their masks on. Masks were mandatory inside the store. But on video, I just asked them for those few seconds that were, a minute or two that we're doing the video, can you take your mask off? Because it looks silly videotaping somebody with a mask on. It's like,
what did you get? What was the response?
They all took it off. Nobody had any problem with it whatsoever, because it was only going to be for a couple seconds. So I can understand. Huh?
Did you have a mask on?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. But for them, I asked them just take it off just for the video, and then they put it right back on, and they did, But I hate to say this. I hate to say this, but when I'm in the grocery store or just when I'm out, and I see a woman with a fine body, and I can't see her face, I'm just like, I got to guess whether or not her face is nice. You can see her eyes, like, oh, she got pretty eyes, and I hate not being able to see her face too.
But what was the first thing that drew your attention?
The body, duh. And sometimes hair. I'm a hair person, too. I love hair, ironically.
Dr. Ron, you saw he caved in. He just
he did. He couldn't handle the question.
What?
The ass, motherfucker, the ass.
I look at the ass. How you gonna see that? Oh, I just love it. I saw you.
The body.
Look, she had a nice perm, so I wanted to see what her smile looked like. You know? Bullshit.
Okay, we all like a nice ass. Let's be honest.
Okay, thank you. Stop it.
And then you all were at an alcohol tasting event, and I think you.
No, it wasn't a tasting. No, it wasn't a tasting. It was just bottle signing. It was a store.
But the bottle, didn't you tell me had like about 180 proof or something in
120, 118, something 119.
Yeah, well,
high proof.
Ain't no germ on earth can live under 118 proof of alcohol. Okay, I don't care what kind of germ.
But they weren't drinking it in the store. That's unfortunate. I thought they'd be drinking it, but they weren't. It's inside the store. I was like,
yeah, but even if they got home, they still was gonna have a no problem getting rid of whatever they inhaled.
I know.
Okay?
I sure did. There's some good stuff, boy. Real good.
I believe it.
I was texting Buck Wild 2 days trying to get his ass to wake up behind that shit. I'm like, then he gonna send me a damn picture with an autographed signature on it, talking about with just a corner missing. Like, damn, that shit was good, Yeah, with a hint of honey, and and he was like breaking it down, like the whiskey was so smooth, boy. I can taste the bees that pollinated the flowers and stuff.
Hey, they finished them.
What's really crazy? You know what's really crazy about that? And I don't know how well you know Frank Ski, but he is a wine
connoisseur, right?
He's a wine connoisseur. So when I saw
and bourbon too,
I didn't know about the bourbon. It shocked me. I was like,
and rum. Rum is his favorite drink, and so he had the bourbon finished in rum barrels, Jamaican rum barrels.
Wow!
So they're sweet. So the rum is sweet. The bourbon is sweet.
Okay.
Really good.
Like the wine. Okay.
Yeah, you gotta get him to send you a bottle, bro. It's good.
No, I'll buy it. I want to support it.
Yeah, I think it's only available in Atlanta right now, but
okay. Well, you could buy it for me and send it.
Can you? I don't. I think it might be illegal to send alcohol over state lines.
Ron, when that's gonna stop you?
See, I knew Ron. That's what I just said. Ron, it was on his lips. It was like, please.
It's not like I'm sending weed, right?
You act like you do everything legal. Come on,
hey.
Now.
You see this halo right here in my head? See, that's a halo right there.
Oh, that's a ring light, motherfucker. That's a ring light.
The views and opinions expressed on the following program.
Hey.
Buck Wild, make you go there, boy. Make you go there.
Have you noticed that I've been watching my language?
Oh,
this bad influence over here.
Yeah. I'm a bad influence. Okay.
Mayday.
Yeah.
Look, hey man, look, there's not more I can do. I mean, y'all go for broke. And then as soon as Ron comes in with his stuff, and of course Reggie does his thing, and Buck Wild, I don't know what the fuck going on and everything else. Mike come in. So
that's my whole thing right there, right?
I can do is sit back and watch. When you see that coming, that's a whole different conversation, man.
Then Buck Wild starts doing this thing, and I don't know what the hell's going on.
Right. He make you go there. He's like that kid that you're trying to help, and he won't listen. So the next thing you know, you got to cuss at him to make him, like, motherfucker.
Is that what it is? Is that what it is, nigga? Come on.
And you understood. You understood.
He broke his rule. Went to the N-word.
Yeah.
You broke your rule.
Shame on me.
You broke your. And you were doing real good. You said Negro about 5 times. I was proud of you.
Yeah.
Hey, I said that on the air one time. I had a comedian on, and he wouldn't stop talking over me. He just kept on talking, blah, 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 blah. I was like, Steve, nigga, damn. I was like, what, did I curse or something?
Going back real quick to the whole COVID thing and people in denial and so-called public figures, Joe Rogan, who does, Moxie, MMA and podcasting. Now he's down with COVID-19. So
but
now
he jumped up and did the Donald Trump, Chris, and said he feeling much better today.
Oh yeah,
because he had that hydroxychloroquine shit, whatever that was called.
Yeah, that and the bleach. Yeah.
I
Took the
feel much
Clorox
better
shot.
today.
I feel great.
Yeah, I feel great.
Well, if you don't want to do what you want to do, I support that. And if we in the same place and I know you doing what you're gonna do, I'm going to the other side of the room. I'm gonna let you have your space. I'm not gonna, if you don't want to take it, then don't take it. You know, because you rolling the dice with your own thing. As the brother said, it's your thing. You do what you want to do. I can't tell you who to sock it to. Yeah, you know, so I mean, hey, your next move is, as they say, your next move is your best move. But in this case, your next move could be your last move. So
I think all those songs were out before we were born, Chris. I'm just thinking.
Well, you know about the Isley Brothers, man. You know you
playing.
Okay, man.
He's playing.
Oh, amen. But you know, like I said, these things, everybody said it's a matter of each individual's choice, and I'm cool with it. If I know your choice, I know how to act accordingly. I'm not gonna be mad at nothing what you do, because as the boy Rocco said, and I know you know about this, I know you know about this, but while you do you, because I'm gonna do me.
Okay.
All right,
Yeah, let it be broke. Let it be broke, motherfucker. Let it be broke. So there you go.
You know it. You know it.
Right.
You know. Oh, Chris, don't you start that reminding me of that scene in the damn what is it?
Do
the right thing. Oh,
yep.
when they sit at those. Yeah, and then and they get to talking and Robin Wood. Man, I'm gonna have to take that and play that and bring that to you and send that to you as a gift for sending me the Scarface thing about the Diaz brothers and Cats by Gomez. You know.
Now, in closing, real quick to keep it kind of lively, you know, Reggie and I know Reggie for years, and we will quote movie lines back to each other like anybody else. So if we can go around the table and just go around your favorite movie and movie lines. So, okay, I'll start. So we talk about Scarface. Al Pacino, probably one of his better roles he ever did. So he's playing Tony Montana. He's in the office with his boss at the Mercedes-Benz in the car dealership. And his boss is like, Montana, you're going to start a war with the Diaz brothers? Fuck Caspar Gomez and fuck the fucking Diaz brothers. Now, what's interesting, the backstory by Al Pacino is that it took him 3 months to get rid of that accent. That's how committed he's into a role. Wow. I'm always fascinated by backstories. He, went to the Cuban community, was starting to hang out, had a dialect coach, but he got into it so tough, it took him 3 months to get out of the accent after he did Scarface.
Wow.
Telling you.
Blank Caspar Gomez and the Diaz brothers out there.
I'm going to say it, man. That was a classic line, man. Anybody got some movie quotes come to mind? Anybody?
Bill Duke, Boys in the Hood. You know you done fucked up. You know you done fucked up. You was in the store. It was 11:25. You done fucked up. Well, see, I had put my hand on you done fucked up. You know you done fucked up. Oh my God! And the camera moved, and they're moving around the table. Oh my God! Classic.
Oh, I got to share a story real quick. I got an interview because I interviewed Bill Duke not too long ago, and I said, okay, let's get out the way in the middle of the interview. How many times people asked you about, you don't know fucked up, right? He's in Tokyo during this time. 2 guys from Tokyo. Excuse me, Bill Duke.
You had to laugh. You was like, the fuck up, all right? You are fucked up.
He's like, no, this is what they said.
That was racist.
No, this is what they said. No, seriously. He said, they said, are you Bill Duke? He said, yes, I am. They said, you don't pucked up. They couldn't say the F, they said P.
That's funny.
Right. You don't pucked up, right? Yeah. Global.
My favorite is still from Training Day. The end when he's gotten shot. Somebody shot me in the ass. And he's like, King Kong ain't got shit on me.
That's right.
I'm sorry. That's at the top.
And that won him the Academy Award.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh my God.
Getting as ghetto as he could possibly get.
Yep.
Yeah.
Although when he was in the car riding with the white boy, and he looked over at him, my nigga, I didn't know you like to get wet.
That's right.
Yeah. Mine is not so much a line as it was a gesture. When Spike Lee did Mo Better Blues, when he was talking to Denzel Washington about Spike Lee doing his old lady, and he was more like, he's like, he said,
Hit that.
That was classic to me. He's like, what? He did what? Yeah, your boy. Yeah, he
hit that.
All right, Professor, favorite movie line.
Oh man, I got about 100 of them.
Number one.
But they're not in the order. I'm gonna just bring the one that comes to me, topical.
Is it in this century?
Yes, it is. I mean, I ain't that old. I'm old, but I ain't that old. Be cool, man.
I'm just kidding. Come on, man.
I know. I mean, I'm good. I'm good. My birthday was Monday, but my favorite.
Oh man, you're a Virgo too. 3 Virgos on this call.
My favorite line is Richie Vento in Harlem Nights. After he done had.
I ain't never coming home again.
Yeah.
Where's your mom at? Put your mom on.
I ain't never coming.
Hey, this is Richie. I'm never going home again.
Have a nice life.
Have a good life.
Yeah, have a nice life. That's classic. You're right. That is classic.
My boy sitting up there. She said, Richie, I think I'm falling in love with you. And he looked at the he said, oh. Pick up the phone.
Hey, I'm not normal in the colored women.
Hey, baby, this is daddy. Hey, get your mommy, put her on the phone. Hey, listen, I ain't never coming back home.
Have a nice life. Have a nice life. Yeah, have a nice life. Yeah, you can't beat that.
Speaking of Harlem Nights, the scene where Eddie Murphy comes to Sugar Ray's place after he shoots old girl is like, so how's your day? I killed her. Oh, tore it up, huh? No, man.
Yeah.
No, man, I shot her. Oh, was it that bad, man?
There were so many classic lines in that movie,
Yeah.
Della Reese. Oh, that's what I'm talking about. You hit a bitch with a can. What was it? A garbage can.
Yeah. Now I got to cut you.
Hey, I used that scene in so many drops and all the imaging that I did.
Yeah.
I mean, for years. Especially that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
No, but the gesture on Red Fox's face when she describes sunshine.
Yeah. and then she say, "Shut up, you blind mother."
You probably can't say you blind mother. Yeah.
All right, Chris Bass.
He showed up in the air. It would turn to sunshine.
Yeah.
All right, Chris.
And look, and then he got glasses this thick looking up in the ceiling.
Yeah. and my favorite shoot 'em up line was that Val Kilmer in Tombstone when he's come on. He said, "I'm your Huckleberry."
I'm your Huckleberry.
That's right.
Yeah, I'm your Huckleberry, baby.
Great line. That's great line.
I'm your Huckleberry.
All right.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah. All right, see what you started, Chris Bass? You started that.
Yeah, that's why I started. Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. All right. Yeah.
Oh man.
Great way to end it too. Great way to end it.
Yeah. Yeah, on a good note. Go around the table, everybody, starting with Mr. Wild and work our way around. Parting last words, sir.
I ain't got none.
Okay, great.
That's a
Dr.
good
Ron.
one. I like that. Somebody asked you for a loan.
Well,
I ain't got none.
Yeah, give it short.
Look, I always like to, encourage people because we have so much killing going on in our communities. And I know that the people that follow us, each and individually, we have influence on people. Please talk to them and tell them to put the guns down. We do not need to keep killing our babies. We don't need to keep killing our each other in our communities. We have the ability to stop this, and we have to express ourselves to our loved ones and say, hey, stop. Put the guns down. Let's stop killing each other.
Thanks for that downer of a note. Appreciate it. But poignant.
Hey, man, that's the reality of what's going on in our community, bro. You can't escape it.
Yeah, it's true. It's crazy.
All right. Mike Love.
Man, I tell you, the news is almost too horrific to look at. And to see this hurricane Ida's effect, and I know, Dr. Ron, you lived in New Orleans. And I mean, looking at Pennsylvania, I mean, it's devastating. I don't know. I've never been in a flood before. That looks scary as hell to me. Just imagining that there's water you can't escape from. And they're talking about this was worse than Katrina. And when we saw those pictures when the people were out on their roofs, there was nowhere else to go.
Yep.
I don't ever want to be in that situation where there's nowhere else to go. And that was my final thoughts, man. I'm just in prayer for them, man. And thankful and grateful for what I got. And, but it's, you can't appreciate, you can't really appreciate it when someone else is suffering. That's all I got to say.
All right, Professor.
I mean, I'm like ditto on what everybody said. I'm ditto on what everybody said. And of course, and one of the things that I do, I'm practicing what I'm preaching myself. I am listening more. What you have to say, and teaching the group of students that I'm dealing with now. That's a combined of going across the spectrum in age. I'm listening more. I want to listen to what they have to say. And I'm not quick to pull out my gun trying to shoot people down because I don't want to put any noise and interference in between the sending and receiving of messages anymore. So I'm going to be mindful, be prayerful, but I'm also be mindful. And I want to make sure that I let someone that I'm speaking with, I want to let them know that I want to listen. I want to listen to you as well. Because when I come back and when I come to make a point, I don't have no time for no BS or nothing like that. So I'm going to listen first, because when I hit you, I'm going to hit you with something. I'm going to hit you heavy with what I got to hit you with. And it's going to all be always in love. I'm not doing nothing else out of anything. Everything has to be about LOVE for me.
Amen.
Amen. Yeah.
That's right. Amen. And 8 women on that one. Nothing wrong with that. And also for me, it's a maxim that my late Auntie Lane lived by and has on her tombstone, which always resonates with me. It's the following: it's not the length of time you live, but how well you live that length of time. Let that roll around and marinate. And also a twofold happy birthday this past August 30th to my brother, Professor Reggie Miles.
Reggie.
Birthday. Mr. Buck Wow coming up. So happy birthday to you, brothers.
September 8th. Yes, sir.
Yep. And happy birthday to the bass man. He got a birthday coming up on Saturday. So hey.
What day is that?
That's September 4th.
Oh yeah. Good stuff.
Yes, thank you so
Virgos
much.
are the best.
Happy
We rule the
birthday to
world.
all you guys.
Yes, sir. Happy birthday.
To my brother.
Look, as they would say on Star Trek, live long and prosper.
You got the hand signal right.
Wait a minute, I gotta fix my hand to do that.
Right, I got arthritis. I got Arthur, man.
Yeah, okay, now I can do it. But I had
Now
to
it's stuck. It's like, I can't close my hand. I can't close my hand.
I could do, but I got to help my hands to stay over there.
Yeah, it's easy, man. So you got to practice. See, you've been married too long.
Whatever. my fingers on this hand, man. Oh, what you talking about? Oh, man. There you go. There you go, talking this stuff, you know. So see, there you go. There you go. You talking this stuff.
I can go either way, bro. Either way.
Oh, see.
Man.
Hold on. Here you go.
I barely can do this hand over here. Wait a minute.
I can't. Would you get over here? There you go.
Take that.
Oh, help.
Oh,
Okay.
man. Peace and love, for sure.
Yeah, that's love, all right. Okay. Oh, help. For Dr. Ron Ford, for Professor Reggie Miles, for Mike Love, and also for Buck Wild, Chris Bass. Have a fantastic, continue the rest of your week. Be peaceful, and we'll talk to you next time. Peace.
God bless.
Peace. God bless.
Love.